This is Gary and Tom at New Again, just introducing you to this video that hopefully will help explain the problem that we're having and maybe some of the problems that you're having. There might be a lot more people realising when they watch this video what's important to them. So we'll start off by showing you that you've got a satellite image there of a site looking down on Chelmsford. You've got the aggregate industry site there, and you can see it's very cloudy all the way around there. An aerial view there of Brook Street, and this is heading towards the aggregate industry site. Now, in case you didn't know, they've been unloading aggregate from the railway line onto this plot of land that's down a bit of a dead end. You wouldn't know it was there, crazy enough, right in the middle of Chelmsford. You wouldn't really know it was there because you can see there you've got a hedge line, and it's been very well camouflaged if it's been done on purpose or not. So you've got the entrance there and that's showing the exit of the site there, and you see there that it's dragging, the lorries are dragging all that dust through on the road. That's a road sweeper thing that's spreading it everywhere pretty much, and they go up and down there to sort of clear it on the road a bit. But that's half the reason why you saw earlier in the satellite images, and you can see those satellite images on dustychelmsford.com. But it shows it's a wider spread area than you first think. You've got the site there. Now this is what they have as what they're calling a wheel wash facility, because they should have something in place, and you're seeing there that it's, you know, it's a mud bath right in the middle. And this gritty stuff, by the way, we're calling it dust, but it's aggregate dust, and it's sharp, so it scratches your eyes. We've had 2 people in hospital. One was going to have an operation. They realised that it was all it turned out to be dust. He was going to have the lenses changed. That was Dave. He was off work for 8 weeks with eye problems, and serious eye problems. He couldn't see very well. He stopped driving and went backwards and forwards to the doctors with his wife 5 times, and came out the doctors. Eventually was admitted to Broomfield. Now you can see the video of his first day back on dustychelmsford.com if you want. This lorry's going on to what they're telling us is a wheel wash facility. You can see it there, and as it drives on, it's driving straight onto the weighbridge, and then the squirty bit squirts nothing. And then you can see the tanks there next to it. It's dirty water anyway. So this is what I would call a tick box wheel wash facility, because it's waste of time. But they didn't have it working for a long time. It wasn't that we had the environmental agency down loads of times who's insisted on them getting it working, but they're arguing about the fact that they can't put a roadway over to allow it to go off there and then and be clean wheels and clean lorry. But it's not just a lorry. You can see in the background there you've got that digger, and that digger's just loading another lorry, and the dust is flying off there all over the place. The lorry's just driven off there, by the way, so he hasn't had anything washed on his wheels, and you can see there that he's dragging all the dust and dirt and grit from the site, and there's another one going on. So they're continuously all day long. We have between 30 and maybe 50 lorries, we think, a day. And there's a picture of the lorry coming out of the site there, showing all the dust. And this, by the way, is in Chelmsford. There's a little bridle path there, and there's lots of people walking. So as you can see there, you've got the dust either side, all the way onto the buildings, right over the gym. So we've got the aggregate industry lorry that's just driven through onto the weighbridge, that hasn't wet his wheels or done his wheels at all, just sprayed at the back of the lorry. And there he is, another one coming in. Business as usual for aggregate industries. This guy's driving out, and the dust coming off the back of this lorry already this morning is building up. So you can see the rear wheel's a little bit wet, and you saw on the video there that he didn't actually do the back. Didn't do the front at all. So there's another one now going down there. You can see the immense dust and all these people having to put up with that. How bad is that? So this is a lorry going onto their supposed wheel wash facility at Aggregate Industries. He's gone straight through now. Look, the back of the thing's washing it. We're on a drone here, a legal drone, and this thing here is bleeping, telling me that this is unacceptable levels of dust here. So despite being told that they have a proper wheel wash facility fitted. I don't know if you can see this in the image, but it's dusty out here and this thing's bleeping, telling me that it's unacceptable levels. And when the lorries come down, it's even more unacceptable. So there's a lorry right on time. So I don't know if you think it might be worth a story. I really do think it is. People in Chelmsford should know about this situation. There's a guy there just walking along, doesn't know. He's got the dust level. See that lorry?
So obviously we can see from here that's 4 lorries going into the site ready to be loaded. So clearly not a small company. It says on their website that they're, part of the community, great with engagement. Gary, talk to me about sort of the engagement and the community effect that they've had so far with you.
They've been dreadful. We've had a couple of guys down. The site manager let me down twice and said he was coming. We got his phone number from headquarters. They said, you'll have to deal with the site manager, and he didn't turn up. Then he didn't turn up again, and then he just didn't answer his phone. He cut me off several times, and eventually we got an email into head office, and then he did turn up, and he turned up on the wrong day and just was totally nonchalant, not interested at all, not even our fault, he said. So you can see a big image there of the wider area it's affecting. Can you see the cars in the car parking spots in that image? And some of the spaces have got less spray on them, less dust on them. So you can clearly see there's been cars parked in there, and those cars will have obviously been driven off through the city anyway. So then you can see the dust there. Now you saw on the opposite side of the railway line, it's going over there towards the other parts of the community.
So Gary, it says on their website that they are proactive about the health and safety. Talk me through the health issues we've had here particularly, and obviously affecting the wider business and community.
Okay, so we talked about Dave having 8 weeks off. James has rung me a few weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago on a Sunday, said I'm not going to be able to make it. He's been into A&E blind for 2 days, and they found out that it is to do with the dust. They're saying he's got the abrasions to his left eye, quite serious. He's back at work now. He's got to wear his contact lenses. He can't wear those anymore, but at the minute we're all avoiding the dust. We've got to shut the doors shut, and it's a job while it's really warm. The wider community, well, lots of people aren't aware of the health part. I've been coughing. I've been to the doctors because I've had an endless cough for a long time now, so I'm going to go in and have x-rays because this stuff gets in your lungs. I mean, we just didn't know. We just thought it's dust, and it's not the sort of dust that you want in your lungs. If you don't want anything, I mean, you don't really want anything in your lungs, but this stuff's dreadful. It's sharp and you can't really feel it very well. It's like fine sand. So sand, if you get it in your eyes, you'll notice it, but of course this stuff is a lot worse than that, and you don't really notice it. It's not obvious. And then I've had this ongoing cough. So when you actually look online and you can read it, there's plenty there, because there's other cities and other places throughout the world that have this silicosis, which means that the dust settles in your chest and then eventually leads to cancer. So it's been dubbed the new asbestosis. But at the moment, we our health and safety people have yet to respond. We've got varying different bodies. The only organisation, if you like, from the government that's done something is the environmental agency, who've been writing to aggregate industries and arguing really, and so far they've been brushed off. The guy that's handling it for us is only doing part-time, and he's been not available more than he's been available. He has promised that he's going to do something, and so far we're waiting for that all to work, because at the minute we're still getting smothered in dust and it's above safety levels. So it's clearly quite a serious situation. Also, we've got all the other businesses around us as well. You've got the gym next door who's been complaining. He's been writing about it before us. I think he's slightly closer, and again, he's had negative responses from any government agency. So so far we're all frustrated. You'll see on dustychelmsford.com that you've got video footage of the local businesses that know about the problem. And for those of you who are watching this and don't know, it's quite possible that you think all this grit and dust all over your car is just coming from, or on your washing or in your barbecue, wherever you've got this dust. If you're living in that area within about a mile, say 2 miles of the epicentre, then you probably don't realise it's not the Sahara sand rain that we get once or twice a year. This is not that. This is coming from a site that's a working business, and the loading, the railway line is loading up from off the railway line onto a plot of land, and these lorries are racing all through the city and off to wherever they've got to dump it, and then back again like a rat run. I'm assuming they're on bonus, but we don't know. But they're not hanging about, put it that way.
So Gary, you said that if people are interested, they can find out more on dustychelmsford.com. What made you set that up in the first place? Is it because we've gone to the authorities and they're not doing what they, what they said?
It's frustration, really. I'm sure they're limited with their resources, and this organisation that is doing this is a big organisation. We feel like the little guys at the moment, and they're the big guys. So it's very difficult to take them on. I'm not sure, what the health authorities and the environmental agencies have got to do. What have they got at their fingertips to actually action this? I know that one of them, environmental agencies, said they were going to issue a notice for them to stop until they got the wash facilities and the dust suppression facilities working. But I think this all, it's a bit frustrating when you can see that he's being told they're working. They were told it was all in there, and we've said no, it's not. And now we're showing more evidence to say that they've got this stupid little sprayer thing that sprays the lorries before it goes onto the wetway bridge and through the dust and all this aggregate and dragging it down the street and affecting all our healths. There might be people here suffering and don't even know and not join the dots together. That's what happened to me. I didn't realise that this was connected until we've had the evidence from the hospitals and the doctors. Dave was lying there ready to have his eyes cut open, and they said, hang on, we've got a load of dust in here. Well, are you working in a dusty environment, Dave? So, it's started to unfold, and it's very frustrating, to be honest. And I think somebody's got to do something about it, and we need some help. So if any of you guys are listening right now, maybe you're a commercial solicitor, maybe you deal with environmental issues, whoever you are, dustychelmsford.com, and if you can contact us, because this is still going on. And we've been complaining about this now for 18 months to 2 years, and we've had the authorities involved for 18 months, and it's just a waste of time. I mean, at the moment, we're just getting nowhere with nobody. Cannot imagine how many organisations we've been to. I'm sure somebody will reach out soon and then give us some help on how to do this.
Where can people find out more information and keep up to date with what's going on with our struggles?
Mainly Dusty Chelmsford, but we'll be back on the radio again very shortly. So you might listen to us on BBC Essex, and we want to get involved with the big guys and see whether the BBC want to see it, because this is a big city, and I think the world needs to know about this problem. I don't think it's just a problem that is local people and a little business like us suffering. You can see by those satellite images the big area that it covers, and in that big area you've got 2 schools, and you've got lots of businesses that are completely probably oblivious to why this dust stuff's going all over everything around them, and quite possibly affecting their health as well.